Alright, I'm just going to try to make a short, quick video of some of the features on my latest X18 build that I set up for track racing. That's all I do with these things. Don't ride them on the streets. To me, they're, not worth it. But anyway, first off, you're looking at a front fork brace mod I made. And I use a external shock as a dampening cartridge, and that's how I adjust the bound and the rebound. See that red knob? That's how I do it. And I'm gonna do a quick demonstration of that, as well as a quick walk around and startup of the bike. Alright, right now I think I got it dialed all the way out. You can see the forks moving pretty rapidly, and as I go in on the red dial here, that tightens up the bound as well as the rebound. You see it starts to slow down, gets a little harder to push down on it. Yeah, you see? Yep. I mean, you really don't want it that slow, especially if you're racing or even just riding out on the street. Now I got it turned all the way in. It gets extremely hard to push down, but as you can see, it looks like it locks in place, but it's actually rising very slowly. So as I open the dial, you see the front starts to come back up. And I open it up some more, and there we go. Nice and smooth. I usually take the forks apart, open it up, rework the damper rods inside internally and all that stuff, but I did that on my first X18 setup. And I found that when I do it this way, I actually have the brace and everything on there also. But I found that if I do it this way, I don't really need it. So now, take a quick shot of some the preload adjusters that I made. I use the stock fork caps to make them into preload adjusters. So I can get a quick shot of that real quick. And then I'll show you the shock that I'm running and the Unilink suspension setup that I run on it. Just like in the on the full-size sport bikes. And I understand, and even the newer dirt bikes, they do that. Which I understand why, because it makes a big difference. But right now you're looking at the spring preload adjusters. I use a flathead screwdriver to dial them in or dial them out. Right now I got them dialed pretty much all the way in. If I back out on them, it softens up the spring tension on the spring, which makes the front end a little more softer and a little more plush ride. But that's not how I like to ride it on the track. And yeah, you can get a sneak peek of my 7-click adjustable steering damper, Lockhart Phillip. And the dial right here, turn that to adjust the tension on that. Now we move on to the rear, and there's the shock I'm running with a 650-pound rated spring. Anybody who knows anything about these China mids know you have to run, well, with the stock setup, you have to run a 1,500-pound rated spring, otherwise the bike wouldn't even hold up under its own weight. And on X18s you have to have a 5.5-inch to 6-inch rear shock, which is hard to come by, an aftermarket shock to fit these bikes, which is one of the big problems that people run into when it comes to making them track bikes. And Down here, if you can see, that's the Unilink suspension. This piece right here, that's considered the dog bone, and then there's a triangular piece, that's the trunnion. And you could change the shock action by this piece here. I could change the ride height with the dog bone here by making it shorter or longer. But right now I think I got the height pretty much set as my first X18 I've done this to, and I like that setup and it rides real good. Oh yeah, and that blue knob right there, that's to adjust the bound spring collar for the preload. And the red knob you can't see because it's tucked up underneath there, adjusts the rebound of the suspension. So no bouncing and no springiness going on around here. And my old exhaust that I made. And come over to this side, pretty much the same. See if I can get a shot of that dog bone underneath there. Yep, there it is. So, and because I have it set up with that Unilink suspension and stuff, I can actually run taller. I can run taller, longer, or shorter shocks. It doesn't make a difference. I'm not limited. Or I could change the spring rate if I want to, but the 650 pound seemed to work. I can go softer or go harder. But I definitely cannot use the 1500 because it will be too stiff. Be almost like riding on bricks. So I'm going to attempt to start it up real quick. She's been sitting for a while. Let me make sure she got gas. Yep, there's a little bit in there, so she should start up. Okay, let's give it a try. That's what happens when you don't start them up for a while. I usually let it warm up a little bit, but give a quick rev. So far, I haven't done the dual front disc mod, but I'm going to eventually put dual front discs on it once I put in the bigger motor. I haven't decided which one of my motors I'm going to put in there yet, but for right now I'm going to modify the stock 110 and do a couple of track days on it, see how I like it with the 110 in it. But you definitely set up the handle and, you know, the chassis is set up for a bigger motor. But anyway, thank you for watching. Bye.